The tips and tricks 10-year-old Juliana Ossa absorbed while visiting Gatorland in Orlando helped her make quick decisions when a 9-foot alligator bit her on the leg while she was swimming in a Florida lake. Gatorland is a 45 hectares theme park and wildlife preserve located in Florida along South Orange Blossom Trail south of Orlando. It was founded in 1949 by Owen Godwin on former cattle land and is privately owned by his family. Billed as the alligator capital of the world, Gatorland features thousands of alligators, including rare leucistic alligators, crocodiles, and many other animals. Attractions in the park include a breeding marsh with a boardwalk, observation tower, zip lines, an off-road swamp vehicle tour, a rideable miniature railroad, alligator feeding shows, alligator wrestling shows, an aviary, a petting zoo, and educational programs. The breeding marsh area was used in the 1984 movie Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. The park is known for buying and rescuing nuisance alligators from trappers that would otherwise be killed for meat and for skin. Gatorland also manages the live alligator display at the Gaylord Palms Resort in Kissimmee. So what do we know about alligators? This species of animal is common in the United States and China. However, while the Chinese alligator is endangered and lives only in the Yangtze River Valley, the American alligator lives on the east coast of the United States, from North Carolina to Texas. They feel most comfortable in Florida and Louisiana. They are on inhabited local ponds, swamps, wetlands, rivers, and lakes. American alligators are much larger and therefore more voracious than their Chinese counterparts. These killing machines feed on almost anything that moves: nutria, muskrats, large fish, turtles, birds, snakes, and even deer and wild pigs. There are several known cases of attacks by alligators on many animals significantly larger than themselves. Basically, alligators are able to swallow their prey at once, instantly crushing it with their jaws. They drag larger animals into the water and rotate them with their teeth until they tear off parts small enough to swallow whole. The victim dies from lack of air or the wounds received. These monsters have a difficult relationships with human. There is an opinion, unlike crocodiles, they do not consider humans as a victim. But the number of Mississippi alligator attacks on humans has increased recently. From the 1970s to 1990s, only 9 deaths were recorded in the United States. But now these statistics have increased several times. For a long time, people believed that alligators, unlike real crocodiles, are afraid of humans, and this statement is near upon a true. However, this approach has led to unnecessary risks among some people who enter their habitats and provoke the animals into aggression. Feeding wild alligators is illegal at any time. If you feed them, gator will eventually stop being afraid of people and start to associate them with food, as unfortunately happens very often in the southern states of America. Gators rarely bite people and fatalities are rare, the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission said. From 1948 to 2022, there were 453 unprovoked bite incidents in Florida, resulting in 26 human fatalities. Only in 2023 were several deaths officially recorded. On September 23, 2023, a witness spotted a large alligator with a human torso clenched in its jaws in an irrigation canal in Largo, Florida. The coroner determined the victim was attacked and partially eaten by a 8-inch alligator after recovering several of her body parts from its stomach. Peckham was homeless and only 2 months prior had been arrested for trespassing on wetland property less than a mile from where her remains were found. On July 4, 2023, the victim was attacked and killed by an alligator as she was walking her dogs in her neighborhood of Spanish Wells in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. First responders were not immediately able to reach the victim because the alligator had crawled out of the water and was guarding her body. On February 20th, 2023, the victim was walking her dog next to a pond at the Spanish Lakes Fairways retirement community in Fort Pierce, Florida. The alligator first attacked the dog, and when the woman tried to save the dog, she too was attacked. The dog survived. Also, your beloved pets, the dogs, are also very often attacked by alligators. Jumping into the water in desire of cooling off, they often unknowingly become a vulnerable target for the monsters of Florida rivers and swamps. Remember, we are responsible for those we have tamed. Okay. So, while on vacation with her parents at a theme park, a little girl is suddenly attacked by an alligator, biting her on the leg. As you understand, in other words, an alligator is a huge killing machine. Just remember that.
We were sitting in a circle, and then the alligator bit my leg, and before the alligator bit my leg, there were swirls in the water, and I was like, what? And then the alligator grabbed a hold of my leg, and I knew it was the alligator because there was also this kid near the orange bobs, over there waving at me and yelling at me, trying to tell me something, and I think he was trying to warn me that the alligator was in the water.
He was probably hungry enough before attacking, or the second option is he was provoked, since in the Gatorland, these animals are accustomed to people and are not afraid of them at all. But what does a 10-year-old child do? Are you ready to hear it?
I've put the two fingers I put the fingers in the middle in its nostrils.
She put 2 fingers up its nostrils, and it couldn't breathe. Gator had to breathe from its mouth and then let her leg out as she said. Ossa first tried hitting the alligator to escape, but when that didn't work, she remembered what she was taught while visiting the theme park and wildlife preserve in Orange County. The tactic of blocking its breathing worked like a charm for the smart preteen. Pretty good job. Fortunately, Gator didn't have any attack moves to take out her fingers. Gatorland was impressed that Ossa was able to think so clearly in such a dire situation. In the few moments it took for Ossa to free herself from the alligator's jaws, she had also been calling for help, which arrived quickly from bystanders and park officials. Emilio Acquino helped pull the injured girl out of the water.
I realized that she was screaming that she got bit by an alligator. At this point, I couldn't see anything, but a couple of seconds later, I saw the alligator, so I ran towards the water. People reacted swiftly and decisively to the unexpected danger, got the child out of the water real quick, grabbed the child, notified everybody to get out of the water while the lifeguards were blowing the whistles.
Then 2 lifeguards then bandaged Ossa's bleeding leg before she was taken for medical treatment. She is able to walk and recovering after receiving 10 stitches in her leg. Thanks to lessons learned at the nearby Gatorland theme park and wildlife preserve, a young girl was able to save her own life over the weekend when she was attacked by an alligator. Ossa may not have known this part at the time, but her instincts to yell out for help were also right on the money. Expert Jordon Munns said that gators are afraid of humans. If you are screaming and making as much scene as possible while also poking the creature in its eyes and ears, there is a good chance the alligator is going to think, "I am used to eating things that don't fight back," and let go of you.